What do you do? What do you do? I mean, obviously therapy, but like, is there something you do routine wise or something that's just help you substantially get through anxiety or a bad time? Is there something that you do that might work for others or may just work for you?
Yeah, I think I do. I mean, when I run, I haven't been running. When I run, that helps me a lot. And I've heard theories that this could be completely, you know, misconstrued and not inaccurate. But, like EMDR, where you stimulate both sides of the brain,
I've done
left and
it.
right. You've done it. Yeah, right. I've done it too. But the same idea of stimulating the left and right, I have heard discussed with running, where if you run like I do without any information being ingested, like without listening to something, a podcast or music or anything. It's like the one time in my life I'm not uploading other information and I'm just thinking. And when you are stimulating your right and left sides of your brain with literally your feet hitting the pavement, it helps you to reroute potentially some of the ways that you're thinking about things you've felt stuck with. So if you sit and stew and ruminate like I am prone to do on
Yeah.
a couch or wherever, you find yourself going down the same neural pathways over and over again. But if you encounter those thoughts while you're running, there's a theory, be it true or not, but that it loosens up and reroutes some of that energy. And I don't know if all I can speak from is my own experience that when I have been running regularly, I feel decidedly more balanced. And I'm not right now. And, there's no real reason for it. I'm just sort of out of the rhythm. I know I'm busy, but it's one of those things it's very important to try to find time for, and I should.
Yeah.
Um, but I find that, yeah, running when I have done that in the past, that's been really fantastic. And sewing, I'm a big, I'm a bit of a textbook um, anxious person, like cross stitch, jigsaws,
Oh my,
really fine
that
motor
terrifies me.
skill activity. What did you say?
That terrifies me. I remember in eighth grade, we had to cross stitch for a
Oh,
project and I just didn't know how to do it. And it was just awful. And it was actually one of those times I remember I was like, Dad, this is due tomorrow. He's like, you have to cross stitch an entire Santa Claus? You're starting on this now? And
what
so
fantastic
he
school did you go to? I didn't get
it
anything like that.
was, I don't know how it was in the middle of Indiana, but this was due the next day. And of course I waited and my father, I thought he was going to, he goes, all right, I'll do it. And
Mhm.
I woke up and I went downstairs and I looked on the table and my dad had a note and it said he went to work. He says, I got to about 2:33 in the morning and then I couldn't do anymore. And he got like 65% of it done. So I turned
What
in 65% of a Santa
what grade did
Claus.
you
I
get?
got a D. But
Oh,
I
what?
was accustomed to to C's and D's and I didn't do well. I mean, I had, I mean, look,
That's not motivating though. That's like saying you might as well do 0% of the work or 65% of the work if you're going to be a D either way, I
well,
don't like.
I think that, a lot of people are very loose with the whole, oh, ADD, ADHD. Oh, I have that. ADD, I have that. I have this. I have that. In this
Mhm.
world, it's like everybody has this. Oh, he's a
Mhm.
narcissist. Oh, like let's not throw these words around loosely. But any teacher or therapist or anybody you've ever talked to, I know I have ADHD. I know I've always had. I know I have some OCD. I know I have. It's just so obvious that, I'd be foolish to think otherwise.
And I
And
also think, like, I was actually talking to a friend about that this week, the sort of sense that everybody's diagnosed with something. And I'm like, it's easy to want to be cynical about it and to sort of question the validity of certain people who say that. But ultimately, I'm like, I think we're just actually looking with more nuance into people's ways of going through the world
yeah.
and the things they struggle with. And whether sometimes things are mislabeled or not, overwhelmingly, I think the benefit from understanding that you're not alone and that there are other people who are not processing in a traditional manner information, or that navigate things a little bit differently. I'm like, it's a it's a complicated arena, and obviously there are medical professionals that are great and are getting clearer and clearer about how to diagnose and treat these things. But I feel like a lot of my friends have benefited from being able to go, oh, that thing that I have that always just made me feel outside the norm. Well, maybe there's a group of people who I do identify with a bit more and that I do understand, or, I do feel like I fit in somewhere a bit more. So